Assalamualaikum. My name is Kamarul Aizat bin Azham. So, my magic number is 2019584445. So, today I will proceed to the presentation for my defending proposal. So, my title is Relationship between Self-Efficacy and Aggressive Behavior on Self-Control among UTM rugby players. So, I hope you enjoy this presentation. So, we go to the first slide. First is background of study. The target population is UiTM rugby player, which is the players that represent UiTM in Charisma, Masum, Sigma, or whatever. But uh, he must play for UiTM or study under UiTM. So next is the independent variable of this research is to find out relationship between self-efficacy and aggressive behavior among other players. So that is the independent variable IV. And then the dependent variable is effect on self-control. This research is to measure if the self-control play as important role in order to get a good self-efficacy or and have a low aggressive behavior. So that's the dependent variable, which is effect on self-control. So next is the what is self-efficacy? Self-efficacy is ability to succeed in achieving an outcome goal. Aggressive behavior is the behavior that have a negative impact even for individual or can impact people surrounding. As you can see in the picture, that's meant by maybe the player have a high aggressive behavior that will lead to negative impact. So next we proceed to the problem statement. So for the problem statement that state in this research, first is does self-control also play a mediating role between self-efficacy and aggressive behavior in the player, which is does self-control play as important role in self-efficacy only or in aggressive behavior only or in both. So that's the problem state. And then the second problem statement is does a rugby player self-efficacy have a positive effect on self-control? So that's two problem statement that state. So we go to the next one. So this is research question. So research question one is what is suitable questionnaire to use in order to determine athlete self-efficacy and level of aggression on self-control. So just to make sure the questionnaire is suitable with the situation. And of course, research question number two is what is the relationship between self-efficacy and aggressive behavior on self-control among the players. Next is research objective. First is to identify the suitable questionnaire for the athlete to determine their self-efficacy and level of aggression on self-control. This is research objective. And then the objective number two is to investigate the relationship between self-efficacy and aggressive behavior on performance among rated rugby players. So next is research hypothesis. First is there is no relationship between self-efficacy and aggressive behavior on self-control among players. And number two is there is a relationship. So number first is no relationship, and number two is they have a relationship. So next we proceed to the significance of study. So for the significance of study, first is this study needed to help the athlete on reducing their aggressive behavior on sport and increasing their self-efficacy. And number two is this study will give benefit to the coach, athlete, trainer, and physician. Some researchers said that strong self-efficacy is needed to reduce the aggressive behavior and we can control it. That means when we have high self-efficacy, it will lead us that we can control our aggressive behavior level. And then next is coaches also need to look on their problematic response, like maybe the athlete lack of motivation, taking drugs because of or depressed or sleep disorder. So this is the significance of study. And then next is the limitation. So the limitation is number one, the age of participant are in range from 19 years old to 26 years old, which is in UiTM. They had a lot of range of age, so that's why I put 19 years old to 26 years old. So this study will be conducted for 2 weeks of period. Participants are willing to join the study, and mostly the participants are active participants, which is it means the participants will contribute with UiTM, contribute to the any local tournaments. So that's mean by active participant. And mostly the participants are sport recreation students, which is FSR, and participants are all men. My research just take the male rugby player. Next is limitation. The participant, the limitation of this research is maybe the participants answering the questionnaire are not accurate, or the honesty of participant on answering questionnaire. So these two things is the limitation of this study. Next is definition of term. Self-efficacy is defined as one sense of competence and confidence in performing behavior to achieve the goals. And number two is while aggressive behavior defined as the component of the intervention content that shape the user behavior that will have a negative impact. So we proceed to the chapter 2, which is literature review. So first is to identify the suitable questionnaire for the athlete to determine their self-efficacy and level of aggression on self-control, and to investigate the relationship between self-efficacy and aggressive behavior on self-control among UiTM. So we proceed to the next slide. Self-efficacy and aggressive behavior, which is the sense of self-efficacy in sport that refer to the individual belief of sport ability. So that's mean self-efficacy means the players or individual internal that will lead to the good behavior or bad behavior. For example, such as players that who have a high self-efficacy will lead to the good behavior, which means he or she can control their physical activity. Or if the player had a low self-efficacy, it will have many disadvantages such as lack of confidence, or will lead to the negative impact. So next is aggressive behavior. Aggressive behavior is caused by the cognitive bias of the aggressor, and low expectation of one ability and performance may lead to antisocial behavior, which is this means that aggressive behavior is controlled by our internal or cognitive bias that will lead to the good or bad impact. So next is self-efficacy and aggressive behavior among UiTM rugby player. So why I choose UiTM rugby player? This is because UiTM had biggest numbers of population for playing rugby, because UiTM had many branches in Selangor, in Negeri Sembilan, in Kelantan. So that's why I choose UiTM rugby player. And next is physiological state influence self-efficacy when individual associated. Physiological arousal with poor performance and perceived failure. So this may be linked to fitness, with some individual associating physical arousal such as fast heartbeat with negative connotation, or such as a poor self-efficacy. So that's the relationship between self-efficacy and aggressive behavior. So next is self-control. What is self-control? So self-control is depend on the individual self-control resources, while self-efficacy complements such a resource by acting as a positive emotion. So self-control is a factor, one of the biggest factor that will influence the self-efficacy. So anything before we go to the self-efficacy, we will see on their self-control earlier. So next is athlete self-control refer to the individual ability to overcome or change internal reaction. such as suppress impulse or interrupt impulsive behavior response. So next we proceed to the relationship between self-efficacy and aggressive behavior that effect on self-control. So point number one is self-efficacy was positively correlated with self-control. Self-efficacy was negatively related to aggressive behavior. So self-efficacy will positive correlated to self-control, but it will negatively correlated to aggressive behavior. So that means the relationship between self-efficacy and aggressive behavior as well as the effect of the self-control as the mediating factor. So the important factor or the big role in this study is self-control itself. So for the questionnaire that will be used in this study is skill for the athlete, the self-control questionnaire, the Bus-Perry questionnaire, which is for aggression level, and last one is the self-efficacy questionnaire. So next is self-efficacy and aggressive behavior among UTM and player. So for the last is chapter 3, which is methodology. So first is the research design. The descriptive and correlational research design will be used in this study. So this research is focused on the relationship between self-efficacy and aggressive behavior on self-control effect. So it will use the correlational study to determine the relationship exists between the variable. So next is sample size and sampling technique. So the sampling technique for this study is purposive. This is because the population that used on this study is a rugby player, which is male rugby player only. So it is you use the purposive. So the total number of UiTM rugby player is 200, which is male only. So this is based on the charisma or masom or sukip. Basically in charisma, the team that will participate in rugby such as 12. So I observe that and I calculate maybe 200 rugby players that help in UiTM, which is still active. So next is the number of participation that suggests to participate is 100%. So I added 20% of sample. So the total number that will be my sample is 120 sample. That is after added 20%. So this is the table for determining sample size from a given population. And next is instrumentation. So this research will use 3 questionnaire, which is for self-efficacy, aggression level, and self-control. So for the earlier questionnaire, for the demographic, many variables that we use, for example, gender, age, height, body mass, or BMI. So next is, so this is the example of the questionnaire that will be used. So for the first one is self-efficacy questionnaire, self-control questionnaire, and aggression level questionnaire. So these 3 questionnaire will be used in this study. So next is data collection procedure. So for my ethical approval, it was approved by my supervisor and lecturer to do this questionnaire, and also have been approved by coaches rugby team in UTM to do this questionnaire. This means I ask their permission to give this questionnaire to their players. And the players also fill in self-report questionnaire of health that showed no disorder in proprioceptive sensory system and every kind of injury, especially in mental illness. Basically, the rugby players that I use for my sample is in the good condition. So next is data analysis. So IBM SPSS 25 will be used to analyze the data. So the descriptive analysis carried using mean and standard deviation. So for the significant will be set as P is below than 0.05 with alpha 0.05. So the last one is inferential statistics were conducted to seek the difference between the group, which is high self-efficacy with low aggressive behavior or low self-efficacy with high aggressive behavior. So that's all for my presentation. I hope the lecturers can correct me if I'm wrong. So thank you so much.